Oh, good afternoon. Stuart here again, and going to continue the VFR tour of Scotland. And we're sat here at Stornoway after travelling across from Wick before. I decided today to have a go at the TBM 930. So, as you can see, we're sat here on the tarmac with the TBM 930. I've had a few issues with it, but I think I might have sussed now how to get the autopilot working properly. So we'll have to wait and see. But um, so now I thought I'd use a checklist. I'm not going to go through the inside inspection before starting the engine. So first thing we have to do is to push this crash lever up, put the battery on, generator on, and we can test the de-ice system. Yep, that's working. We can test the landing gear lights, and we can check that they're running. And fuel on board, I think we've got well, we've got 50%. Let's have a bit more. I don't know how much this thing uses, but
TOS system test. Okay.
I think that should be enough. Okay, right. So now so there's our flight plan loaded in. Let me just load the flight into Navigraph. And get the map up so you can have a look at the route. So if I bring this across, like here we are at Stornoway, so we're going to fly straight across to, oh that's Wick, beg your pardon, wrong flight plan. Where's my flight plan gone then? I did save it. Oh, it should be that one. Oh, that's it. That's better. Sorry, I had the wrong flight plan in. Why won't that one load in there? Never mind. Yeah. Flights. New flight plan. From file. Open. Oh right, okay. It doesn't select that file format. Oh, that's a shame. Never mind. So that Navigraph is not. Can I just select it on here anyway? Yeah. It's alright. I'm just looking at the Navigraph just to get it in the right place in the world. So yeah. So we'll take off on 18. I think the weather is favourable for 18. Yeah, it's 160 at 4 knots. So we'll take off at 18 and then we'll head south eastwards down across this narrow part of the countryside down to Inverness. So hopefully it shouldn't take too long. The flight time is estimated to be about 35 minutes. All being well, we shouldn't take more than, once we get started up, more than about 45 minutes in total, I suppose, hour at the most. Okay, so we want ignition on auto. We want the auxiliary boost pump set to on or auto. And there goes my dog barking again. Waffle! Enough! Stop it! Sorry about that. Propeller area is clear. don't need a pushback on this one. So what I understand we do, and I'll make sure this is in the right place. Yep. We start the starter for 2 seconds, 1 and 2, and which should start the airplane up. And then when this gets up to, oh, it's moved it forwards 13, 14. Move it up to, oh, it was on low idle. Move it up to high idle. And across to taxi. Should be okay. 30% before 30 seconds up. And check oil pressure and temperature. So we got okay, and then automatic starter to off. Boost pumps we leave on after engine starts. Low idle to flight idle, which is where we are. Oil pressure, boost pump auto, fuel select switch to auto. And autopilot trims on. Generators on main, and the bleed is set to auto. Okay, before taxi, inner separation on. We'll have the pitot heats on. Flaps are up. Throttle feather twice, that's okay. Taxi lights are on. Nav lights are on. That'll do. Okay. So we've got our fuel selector on automatic. We'll go up to about 4,000 feet today. Let me just switch my PFD to hectopascals. Oh, that's right. And the QNH is 1030. Yeah, it's pretty high pressure over the UK today. So now where do I change? Oh, it's here. So 1030, otherwise we're below ground at the moment. 1030, so that is set, and we'll put this onto GPS, so it's heading sort of southeast, east-southeast. We'll set the heading to the runway once we take off. So we'll set that to heading, set that to flight control, altitude select. Okay, it doesn't come on till I turn the autopilot yaw damper on. Okay, parking brake off, and we'll have flaps to take off. Not sure where the let's get the map up for the airport. It's got quite a punch on this aircraft. Where do I want to go? I think we'll have to backtrack up the runway. Let's go around this way. So this is runway, what runway is this? Let's take runway 24 then. Go down the end of runway 2. Not 2. No, I want runway. What do I want? What were the winds? Winds 160. Oh right. Okay. Now we'll backtrack up to one. We'll backtrack down runway 18, which is up here a bit. What's that say there? Oh yeah, we need that on. I think you put that on before you take off the inert separator. It's actually to stop debris, or stop debris being sucked in the engine or something. So I heard. So I'll head down this way. We'll set up an approach into Inverness once we're flying, so long as I can get the aircraft to level off properly under the autopilot, then I can concentrate on setting up the arrival. But it looks like I could have come up that way. I probably don't need this much runway, but in fact, let's turn around on this area here. And then we'll right. Okay. So we're almost ready for takeoff. We'll have our landing lights on, strobe lights on, inertial separator can go on. I think that's probably us for the moment. I've got heading mode on. That's what I wanted to do. Get the heading for the runway. And let's go. About 90 knots for takeoff, and then climb to about 10 degrees. What's that for? Oh, that's the inertial separator, that's okay. Oops, 90 knots, right, we'll take off, gear up, positive climb, and we'll climb up for 10 degrees. We get to about 115, we'll put the flaps up. Flaps up. And we'll set the altimeter for I'll do a slight left turn, slow left turn. Set the altimeter for 4,000 feet. Turn left, put the nav mode on ready, climbing out about 150, and there's the outer island just off Stornoway, down behind us there. This way until the yaw damper can go on. We'll try and hopefully when I click the autopilot on, it's not going to do a random dive, which it has been doing. So I'll let the autopilot come in, let the GPS come in a bit more. Line up to meet it, then we'll try and line up with it before I put the autopilot on. Let's put the FD on, see if that helps. We're coming up upon 4,000 feet. So let's see what it does when I put the autopilot on. Why is it doing that? Look. Right, let's do vertical speed. Where's my vertical speed knob gone? Oh, it's capturing the altitude then. Oh, right, okay. Okay, so it seems to be behaving despite that slight dive. It's captured the 4,000 feet, it's slowing down. The vertical speed's decreasing for 4,000 feet. Flashing to alert me that we're coming up to 4,000. It's just we go across some of the highlands on this flight, so I had to be up at the minimum 4,000 feet. Appear to have a beacon light this one. So I don't think there was a... Oh, was there a beacon down here? No, prop eyes. And we got panel lights. Generator starter, taxi light can go off. Oh, we want the landing lights on, I suppose. Pulse lights. Off, now lights on, strobe lights on. Yeah, you don't seem to have a beacon on this one, which is rather strange. So some hot airflow. Okay, and the autopilot's behaving itself, which is good. Put the heading back the way we're going in case we need to switch to it. So there we go. Everything's in the green, looking cool. Okay, let's have a look at Inverness then. EGPE. Inverness. So I guess I'll check the weather at Inverness. Hang on. Excuse me. I'll just look at my tablet. EGPE. Get meter. Okay, so basically there's no winds. Oh, it's overcast skies at 700 feet though. Oh well, that will be interesting. Yeah. Yeah, no wind at all. So let's get rid of Stornoway. So here we are coming up, approaching Ullable. So we've got an ILS, VFR ILS, runway 23 or runway 05. So let's go for runways, I don't know, 00. Let's go for runway 05, shall we? That doesn't help much, does it? 2,700 feet, 4,000 feet. Right, so we're coming in So if we head for the VOR, then head out on 254. So we're coming in across this way. So I think once we hit we'll turn out on 254 and do this loop and see if we can see how this behaves on the ILS. What else we got? That's coming from the south. No, we'll do this one. So if we look at the chart, we got what's that? 108. Alright, I can put this down below, can't I? Let's pin that one. Oh, only pin chart there. What's in the go? Oh, I got it. Oh, never mind. That's because I haven't got a flight plan in there. What can I do if I do flights? New flight, manual input, EGPO to EGPE, create. Oh, there we go. Right, now I should be able to. Now I should be able to pin it. Why can't I pin it? Maybe I can. It's not showing up. Let me pin it. Oh, there we go. Okay, so we've got so I'll come back to it. So we've got 108.5. So if I come down here, we can look at the Navcom audio radios. Nav1 10850. Enter. What else do we have on there? Inverness is 109.2. So if we go oops. Why is that not transferring? Oh, that's better. What did I say? It was 109.2, I think. 109.2. Oh, somebody at the door. Okay, sorry about that. Right, so 109.2 and won't let me do that. Why is it not letting me do that? 109.2 10920 enter. Right. If I switch that. Oh well, I put it on. Silly me. I put it on nav2. Not that it matters, but I meant to put it on nav1. I suppose can I put it on nav2? We got an nav2 on here. I guess we have. Moving to. What does that do? Oh yeah, nav2. Nav2, there we go. Bearing 1, nav1. Oh, it's put it down here as well. Why it puts that circle in. Oh, okay, so we're coming up over the hills now. Let's have a look outside. Whoa, pretty impressive. So it's a pretty quick flight in this little TBM. It's magnificent Scottish Highlands. As you can see, we definitely need to be at 4,000 feet. We'll just be skimming over the top of this one, I think. Yeah, just about. That's probably the highest point here anyway. Well, we've got 37 miles to Inverness. Nav 1 was, let me just put this back over here, 108.5, which is what I've got that on, I think. Just have a look. Radios. No, I've got to change that over. Transfer that over. That's it. 108.5. That's the ILS on nav 1, and nav 2 is the VOR for Inverness. So you can see here, at top of climb. We'll be at top of climb soon. Surprised to see the trees again up on the tops of these hills right over here. I think that's very unlikely. Never know. But it's an issue with some of the tree placements in 2020, as I've said before on numerous occasions. Right, so once we clear this next ridge, we can probably start our descent. That's the passenger's view. Now we're getting into a bit of misty cloud. Did say it was likely to be overcast. I might just switch it back to live weather and see what that's like, because this unreal live weather tends to stutter quite a bit. You never know, it might even be clear. It should be overcast, but we want to see the scenery if we can anyway. So, quite dramatic mountains up here. So we'll soon be. Is that Loch got a name? Oh, that's called Loch Glass down here. We're just coming up to Loch Glass, and then we'll be crossing over the Cromarty Firth, and then the Moray Firth into Inverness. So we want to head round to 254 once we hit the VOR. I think what I might do is, if I put this on, let's put this on nav mode, but I don't want to do that. Heading the right way. VFR2 we want. Won't let me change the course of the VOR. No, well that's not right. Let's put it back on GPS. INS. Yeah, it is INS. I don't know why. I wasn't able to move the course needle round, so it was seemingly wanting to go round to the north. Okay. Actually, we needn't descend too much because we on the approach chart we actually arrive at the VOR at 4,000 feet, which is what we're at anyway, and then we head down to 2,700 on the teardrop outbound. So okay, can I normally, when it's in altitude hold, yeah, you can set it. I just wondered if you could preset it. So if we preset it to 27, which is the initial approach altitude, ILN. So it's picked up. It's recognised ILN, which is the ILS. We've got approach mode on here at all. Yeah, there. So I guess we just click the approach mode once we're lining up with the ILS after the turn. There's the Cromarty Firth, which is crossing over. Oh, have we already crossed it? Oh no, there's the Cromarty Firth, beg your pardon. Yeah, we've already crossed the Cromarty Firth. So Inverness airport is around here somewhere, straight in front of us, on the other side of the Moray Firth. I'm not sure exactly where until we get a bit closer. I think because it's, I think I'll preset the heading to maybe 2021, and then we'll go on heading mode as soon as we hit the nav2 on the VOR. Once we can see the airport. Which I still can't see it yet, which is surprising. Down there. I think we're just coming up to it, are we not? Let it in there. Whoops. Yeah, that's Inverness Airport, wrong way. I meant to put in the UK 2000 scenery, but I forgot, so we'll have to look at it next time. Apologies for that. Okay. Right, so we're just about over the airport now. Yep. So we'll switch to heading mode and let him turn and go out on a heading of 254, and we will pull the throttles back and then do a slow descent. Well, we'll go down to about 1,000 feet. So we'll go down to 2. Right, so we need to go a bit further than that actually, because I should have turned beforehand. So we'll come right the way around here. Otherwise we won't get back on track. And basically want to turn out over this way. Too far actually. Right, so we'll head back out to about 255. That's better. We don't want to be on FMS anymore, we want to be on nav 1. So we've got 5.5. According to the charts, when we get to 11.4 we turn back round onto a heading of 054. Be about 11.4 miles out. So currently flying over Inverness. Another aircraft. I saw, oh no, there's a smudge on the window. We're 7.8 miles. We're at 2,700, which is exactly where we want to be. 9.4. 9.5, 9.6. Right, I think we'll start the turn because we're coming up for 11 miles. We want to come all the way round to a heading of 054. It should be and then I think we need to slow down a bit more. I think actually we'll set it about there for now until we get the needle come in, and then we'll set it to approach mode. And there's the glide slope, so we're below the glide slope, which is fine. So I'll bleed the speed off till we can put a degree of flaps in.
Landing gear.
Now that's interesting because it didn't capture the localizer. We'll turn on the localizer this way then. We're going to miss out on the glide slope if we're not careful. There we go. Glide slope captured.
Landing gear. Landing gear. Landing gear.
Put some gear down. To get us to slow down. I've got my throttles right back, but right, we've got a reverse bit there, but I don't know. I can't get my throttles any further back than that, so I would have to move it manually, I think, into reverse. I don't think I'd set up a toggle reverse for this, but it's quite a long runway, so it shouldn't matter too much. The airport. Well, we're going to have to see if we can turn off halfway down, so I might want reverse thrust. Right, I don't want to lose any more speed than 96. There's the airport, straight in front of us. So another landing flaps. Should bring our nose down a bit. The speed flaps will slow us down. Watch my speed. Between 85 and 90. I think I've still got my landing lights on. We can put the taxi lights on, I guess. Thought I'd turn them off. Obviously not. Coming in nice and slow. Well, I wasn't far out my estimate of 45 minutes. It's been 44 minutes so far, so we're nearly there. Oh, there's a nice little church down there, look. See it as we go past. Probably not that realistic, but it looks like an English or a Scottish church. A UK church, I should say, sorry. I know. Maybe not, don't know. It's probably more it's probably actually a mansion house or something, or a castle of some sort. I thought it was a church, but obviously not. Okay, I think what I'll do is I will disengage the autopilot.
500.
Try and keep the speed and everything the same. Around about 90. We've still got 2 whites, 2 reds on the pappies. Getting a bit low. Get up a little bit. That's two reds. I'm just going to watch out the window, not watching the pappies anymore. My nose up a bit. Okay, slight flare. Oh, it's a bit of a float. Right, I will need reverse, I think. If I can get it in, I don't know. No, can't get it in. Oh, there we go. Oh well, we've got plenty of runway. Okay, let's slow her down and turn around on the runway. I must say that's the first time that I haven't had this particular aircraft autopilot throw a complete wobbly, so I was quite pleased with that. So welcome to default Inverness, and before I do the next leg, I shall make sure that I install the or activate, I should say. I have already installed it, but right, I'm going to taxi down this runway and round to the terminal. The UK 2000 scenery for Inverness, so that you can see what Inverness actually looks like terminal wise. It's because I use the linker program from flightsim.to that enables you to only place in the community folder symbolic links to the scenery or the aircraft or whatever that you want to use or frequently use. So my UK 2000 scenery is in a separate folder, and you have to activate it effectively via the linker in order for it to show up. But I forgot on this occasion that I had the scenery, which is a wee bit annoying, but can't be helped. You can only do it before you start the simulator, so okay, so we'll swing around here and head round to the terminal. What I always do is I tend to forget to take a screenshot or something when I'm flying, so I'll have to take one once we park here at Inverness, just at the airport, but it's a bit boring, but so apologies for that. No, I quite like the old TBM. It's a nice aircraft to fly, although a bit, I mean, it can go quite high. It's got quite a good ceiling height on it, but of course on these short half an hour or so trips, it doesn't have to be that high. Right, so so this is the default Inverness, and as I say, the actual terminal doesn't look anything like that whatsoever. And when I get the UK 2000 scenery to show up, you'll see the difference, which I'll obviously make a point of pointing out before we start the next the next leg, but I'm not doing it today, maybe tomorrow afternoon. I've got to go off and cut the grass now. First cut of the season. It's been drying off in the sun a bit this afternoon, so okay, so let's stop it there. Probably not the GA parking, I don't know whether it's doesn't actually say where the GA bit is, but I know this is normally the terminal parking. Okay, need to shut down the engines, so we'll move across to there and then down. And it'll all go dark in a minute. Oh, it won't, because I haven't turned the batteries off yet. So if we go outside for a minute, and we'll take one across here. How's that? That'll do. That'll do. Don't want that horrible building in the way. Or do we? Shall I go in the drone? Let's go up in the drone and get a view across here. The lake and that in the background, perhaps. Whoops, sorry, didn't mean to do that. Didn't mean to put you in a spin. It's very difficult, this, getting it level. Right, where are we? Oh, there we are. Right, so we can go down a bit. I'll do. Go up, go down. I will zoom in a bit. Can we zoom in? Where's my camera? Zoom level. Let's zoom in a bit. Not that much. About there. That'll do. Still got my landing lights on. Inverness. Right, so if I do that one, that will take one different screenshot anyway of the Scottish area. Okay, well, thanks for watching, and hopefully you'll join me again next time. I'll just leave the end screen on, and let's turn this off for a start. Where's my battery switch? That's it. Hopefully you'll join us again next time, and see you then. The next leg is from Inverness, and I think it goes across to Oban, which is another nice airport, but I don't have that one. But we can go down Loch Ness. In fact, we can go the whole distance down Loch Ness, so that should be fun. Anyway, see you again soon.